Hello, Charlene here. And today I'm talking about LinkedIn events and LinkedIn Live. Are they the same thing? Are they different? Do I even need to know about this? Well, yes, you do, especially if you plan to go live and if you plan to use LinkedIn events. So let's get started. Hello, I am Charlene Tessier, founder of Strength in Numbers, and I'm helping you to attract those motivated prospects on LinkedIn using a combination of LinkedIn and live streaming. And today we're talking about one of the most confusing kind of words or jargon in LinkedIn, and this confuses so many people, and that is what is LinkedIn events? What is LinkedIn Live? Do I need to know about this one and the other? And why is this so confusing? Well, because LinkedIn likes to make it super confusing for you. No, that's not true. The real reason is because LinkedIn actually acquires quite a few different sort of features or technology sets. And if you've been with LinkedIn for a very long time, like me, I have been with them since the very beginning when they were just a resume. They didn't have a feed. I even remember when I was using what was called Pulse. That was actually the feed, and it was kind of separate. And later on, they integrated in. That's what you see today. But they do that a lot. They acquire different pieces of software or they build some themselves and then they acquire some of it. And that's why it's a bit of a piecemeal. And it's also why sometimes it gets a little bit confusing. So, first, let's understand a little bit about the difference between LinkedIn events and LinkedIn Live. They are the same, but not the same, right? So I'm going to just go on to LinkedIn. That's going to help you. So unfortunately, they very recently changed this to say audio event. It used to say just event, I believe. I'm kind of sad that they changed it to this wording. It really is, people think this is for podcasting now. It's super confusing. I don't know why they even did that, but if you were to click on that, that's actually creating a LinkedIn event. And LinkedIn events have actually been around for quite a long time. This is not a new feature, it's been there for ages. And so people have been using it to create an event and invite others to participate in that event. And they would use an external link. They could invite attendees, or attendees could come. And now, actually, with LinkedIn events, you can kind of do it all in one place. Is what they really wanted, was that you could sign up here. You could get their email addresses here. I believe you can even collect payment through LinkedIn events. I'm going to deep dive into LinkedIn events on another video because there is a lot happening here. But one of the things that it can do for you is that it also is a component of the live streaming. So originally, LinkedIn events, when I started with live streaming, LinkedIn events and live streaming, those two were actually separate things. They were not touching each other in any way. They didn't interact with each other in any way. And I think it's just this last year, they decided that LinkedIn events and live streaming should be together. And they kind of merged them together, but not really. And so what happens is you can have a LinkedIn event, which does not have any live streaming. And if you have live streaming now though, it automatically creates it and turns it into an event without you don't get a say in that. It's just an automatic thing. And that's why people get really confused because unfortunately, on many of the LinkedIn documentation hasn't been updated. You will see them using the words interchangeably: LinkedIn events, LinkedIn live streaming, LinkedIn live, right? And it's kind of used interchangeably, and that makes it really confusing. And if you go to actually LinkedIn events kind of Q&A page, the big heading is LinkedIn events. Doesn't say anything about live streaming. And then later, further down, there's information about how to set up the StreamYard third party, how to get accepted to LinkedIn Live. And that, again, just confuses people because when they come to that information post, the first thing it doesn't say is LinkedIn Live or go live streaming with LinkedIn. It says LinkedIn events. And then they just, people get lost. And I don't blame you. I understand that you get lost. So what happens is that it creates an event, right? So that's the main difference, is that LinkedIn events on its own, you can even invite people to come. You can do all kinds of it's a little bit more feature rich. Okay. And live streaming is just a sort of a tool that sits inside of it, but it does not mean you have to use it. You don't have to do that to create an event. I just created an event. I showed you how I did that just by pressing that button. But I'm going to show you a few things, just a few tips around when you are live streaming. Oh, I realized my one of my banners is still, my gift banner is still on, which is odd. Let me, can I get my mouse back here? There we go. Oh, unfortunately, I noticed that on my side, I don't see my banner, and I think you guys do see it now that I see that on LinkedIn. Anyways, um, let's go first. Actually, pardon me. I want to go show you what happens once you create an event in StreamYard. So when you're using StreamYard and you create your LinkedIn Live broadcast, um, some things are going to happen. It's going to automatically push, it's linking to LinkedIn for you. So it's pushing out the information. You don't have to create a LinkedIn event first on LinkedIn. And this is where people also get confused. And then stream it. You could actually just, and I just do that, just do it in StreamYard. It generates it for you automatically. You don't have to do a second step of linking them together. It's linked for you. So what I want to do is actually screen share StreamYard, the StreamYard interface specifically. Are we on that window? There we go. So let's take a look at that. So that's the dashboard, right? And I'm currently live doing this one, all right? And when you're doing it, you're creating a broadcast. I know on LinkedIn it's called a post or an event, but in StreamYard it's called a broadcast. Again, more jargon, a little bit more confusing. And you're going to just create one live stream. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the recording thing today. We can talk about that in another day. If you have the ability to multi-stream, you can see how they're getting from gray to highlighted. That means they are now active. So I'm doing Facebook. I'm going to stream this into LinkedIn and into YouTube. Okay, but for this one, I just want to do LinkedIn. Just say you only have one. Now you see here a little thing appeared where it says you can use an existing LinkedIn event. So you could have done it the way and but you don't need to. Just do it here so it automatically goes there. You're going to make a test title. You're going to make a test. And you could either go live right away. So if you create the broadcast right now, that means in the next minute, you're probably going to go live. Or most people schedule it for later. When you schedule it for later, which is really great, is it automatically kind of creates a pre-announcement for you. And that gets pushed out to your followers and to your connections in advance. And that means that they can actually sign up. They can attend as an attendee. They get reminders to show up when you're live. And you can also, of course, do many other things. Now, there's a few rules around LinkedIn in that it doesn't allow you to start more than 2 hours late. It doesn't allow you to start more than 15 minutes early. And the most important rule is that it doesn't support editing the start time once created. It actually doesn't support editing anything, even though it says here only start time. So once you have actually made your title and description and you have essentially published it, create the broadcast. If you have to make any changes, and we'll try to do that in just a second, you're going to be hit with a big error. And then it's like, what's going on? And you have all these LinkedIn or posts and events popping up because you're kind of like, whoa, what's happening here? And I'm going to explain a little bit. So the main thing is that editing, unfortunately, does not happen in StreamYard. It works beautifully for Facebook and YouTube. It does not work for LinkedIn. It does not pass that information through back and forth. It's kind of a one-way street. And so being that it's a one-way street, we have to kind of do some workarounds. My apologies. So let's actually just broadcast this on Sunday. Okay. We're not really going to do it, but I'm going to make one so that you can see. I'm going to actually, so boom, it's ready. It's scheduled. And let's see if this works. Yay. I'm going to go to my activity. That's where you'll see. There we go. I didn't put a thumbnail. That's why it's all blank because I was just in a rush. There we go. An event has been created and you can see people, I can manage the event. People can applaud it. People can be invited to it and whatnot. And there's a little bug with the comments and I'll talk about that in another video. But right now, all we need to know is that we have this. Now we want to, let's go back. Let's say, hey, I screwed up. I can't stream on Sunday, right? And I don't like this title, right? Let's just say that. All right. And we got hit with our error. LinkedIn does not support updating broadcasts. So even if I didn't change the time, if I just tried to change the title, it won't let me do it. It won't change anything on this one. This will just remain as it is. If you need to make a change, you'll need to delete this broadcast, create a new one, or just remove the destination. So this is the trick. You don't need to delete everything. You can just remove the destination. So the first thing to do is to remove, this is removing the destination. I'm removing the destination. Now there is a sort of shortcut here saying you can delete it. So let's click it to delete it on LinkedIn, right? The post we saw over there. And boom, hit with the same error that we can't delete it because it's a one-way street between going to StreamYard to LinkedIn. They don't have editing. So you have to delete it yourself. You can either click this link or I have it open. And so what the first thing I do is I actually go into it and I delete it so there's no confusion for people. I go to manage it. I delete this event. Yes, I want to delete this event. It's going to take a minute to update. So this error, this checkbox, even though it's there, it just doesn't work. So forget about it. Let's change it. Change. Now I'm going to add it back. When I do that, unfortunately, it also wipes out the description. So when we do this, it wipes out everything essentially. It's like starting a whole new event. Let's schedule it for Monday. And to make it different, I will just choose a random thumbnail of something random. There we go. It's scheduled. Let's save the changes. Looks good, right, so far? Let's make this a bit bigger for you all. We want to go back. I'm still live, of course. There we go. Show activity. Go to posts. Has it been updated? It has. There it is. 1:45 Monday, and the other one is gone. So that's the of how live kind of integrates with StreamYard, and some of the quirks that we always have with it. Now, if you have questions about LinkedIn events, LinkedIn Live, StreamYard, and any of these little quirks that they often have, just let me know in the comments below. I have many a gift for you. So I will check out my free gifts. You can do that actually just by going and hitting up on my profile link. I will just pull that up real quick for you all. I'm going to go back and go to my profile page and you can grab any of my free gifts. We are currently revamping our community and we're moving to Slack where it's going to be a bit more discussion based. And I hope you'll be able to join me there. I have over 170 members talking about LinkedIn live streaming and mainly about attracting clients. That's the most important thing in the end, right? So I hope to see you all there. Grab any of my freebies. And if you have any questions, of course, drop them in that comments below. Until next time, I will see you all next time.